broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
I love this theme song.
I was gonna say, we need a new one.
No, I love it.
That starts more epically.
This is epic. This is epic enough.
It crawls to epic.
It crawls to epic. Welcome, guys, to AFTERBUZZ TV. This is the after show for The Last Ship. We're on Season 2, Episode 4, called Solace. I am your host, Kate Aquillano. You can find me on social media at Kate Aquillano. I'm keeping it simple. And I'm joined by my lovely co-host.
Hi, I'm Monse Bolanos. You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Monse Bolanos, keeping it simple.
Yes, we hope you guys had a great 4th of July weekend. And thank you for joining us on Monday night. We're usually Sunday night. That's why the boys aren't here. But that's okay, because they don't need to argue with us. We got this covered. Just before we jump into this episode, reminder to watch us on YouTube, /AfterBuzz TV, give us 5 stars, and to listen, you can check us out on iTunes and SoundCloud. But let's jump into this episode.
Let's do it.
First, I love this episode.
Yeah.
What did you think? First thoughts.
I loved it. I loved the eye candy. I loved it all. I was real happy with it. I liked the storyline that they gave us with the ship.
I thought it was like getting back to season 1. And like, I was like, yeah, this is an episode that like I can really, you know, because we've talked about this, that the premiere, the double episode premiere was just wrapping up season 1, really. Mm-hmm. And then episode 3 was very slow, necessary, but very slow because it had to like reestablish what the plan is and all this stuff has happened. But this is the episode that they're like really getting back to normal.
Yes, I agree.
A lot of action. Lots of stuff. So let's get started. It starts with like 5 months ago, there's this ship and everyone has died from the virus because you can tell by the grossness. But there's 2 survivors. And I'm like, who are these guys?
Yeah, and their names, they had the same last name.
They're brothers.
Yeah, but at that time I was like, I wonder if they're brothers, because I don't know if that's a common name wherever they're from.
Right.
You know, but yeah. I was like,
and then that's when I thought, I was like, well, if they're immune to the virus, maybe they both are because they have the same genes.
Exactly.
See, we think like these writers think. We're catching on.
Yeah.
We're catching on. But we still don't know how they're going to play into this. I had no idea they were the boss.
No.
Did you have any idea how they were going to play into this whole...
I actually thought that was some of the people that Patient Zero was with, which it turns out it seems like they're all kind of connected.
And we'll get to that.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
When I first saw those 2 guys.
Like, I don't know how these guys play into all this. But then it goes to like Dr. Scott, and she's finally like optimistic about the cure, and she's like recording these video diaries, and she's talking to Dr. Hunter, who we have not met yet, but they're supposedly on their way to in Florida. It's her mentor from Yale. And I just thought it was interesting after seeing the whole episode and looking back that like she was so optimistic, and it's like the tide was turning, and like they got the doses, they're recreating, they're spreading the cure.
Yeah, in that scene, my first thought was, oh, business back to normal? Like, ship back to business as usual?
Right.
Yeah, it was so, like, oh, we're not fighting this epidemic. No, we're just going back.
We're just going to figure this all out.
Yeah.
She's fine.
It's just a Tuesday.
We've got this handled. We're taking care of it. But, like, soon, that's not the case.
That's not what happens.
We're only in episode 4. Some stuff's going to go down. But if you remember from episode 3, when they arrive in Norfolk, they're talking to the Navy SEALs, and they're like, we thought there was this secure lab here. Where did it go? And he's like, all the equipment's gone. I can't tell you. So apparently, I don't know how this crew member finds this you know,
like
boat.
glitch in the
Yeah, he's like, Dr. Scott, I got to show you something.
Yeah.
I'm like, but how did you come across this missing ship?
Me too. I was like, maybe I'm just not intelligent enough to figure that out. Because I was like,
I think the writers just didn't know how to really explain it.
And not take too much time to explain it, which is fine. I agree.
So basically, there's this hospital ship
somewhere
that they found out left Norfolk, and obviously put two and two together. It's probably the lab. Because apparently protocol says, you know, if you, I don't know, someone named a protocol that like if something goes wrong, you can take the basically hospital to sea.
Right.
So they want to find this ship. And obviously, it's not going to be easy.
Right. But it's like, they say that the size, like 3 times the size of their lab. Like, Dr. Scott is, like, determined to find
it's exciting.
This lab. Yeah.
Because that's one of the problems that their boat has is, it's a ship.
Their ship. Yeah,
their ship. Their ship has is, they don't have the equipment or the resources to produce the dose in the amounts that they actually need.
Right.
To make a difference.
Right.
So finding this ship would be
ideal.
Yeah. So they, you know, send signals. They the comm team. I'm not going to pretend like I know what they're doing, but the comm team is really working hard to find this ship.
So you guys go because we don't know what to do.
Yeah. So during, you know, that whole let's find this Lieutenant Green, who I love, introduces 2 new team members.
Yes.
Which I don't really know where they came from.
He gave a brief something about Norfolk and gave a brief title as to what they did and said that they just were very capable and had the ability to.
They are very capable people. We will soon learn. But it's Wolf Taylor,
played by Bren Foster. Hubba hubba.
Not too shabby to look at.
Not too. You can keep Green. I'll take this one.
Fine. Fine if I have to. But he is I like how they're adding in new characters.
Me too. Yeah.
And then we also have Lieutenant Ravit Bivas.
Yes.
She is a badass, if I should say so myself.
She is, and I don't think she has a. Oh, there she is.
Who she's played by?
She's played by Inbar Lavi.
I'm sorry if we butchered your name,
Lavi.
but you did a great job.
Badass.
So they're new. I like this new dynamic because you see Kara Foster come in, who obviously is pregnant with Green's baby.
Yes.
And she's kind of like a little jealous because she's like, well, all the girls are talking about Wolf.
Right.
So aren't all the guys talking about Ravit?
Yeah.
I thought it was a really cute moment.
It was. And it was like very cute, but you could hint that she's like hinting towards jealousy.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm going to tell you in a very nice way.
And she like has the eyes.
Yeah.
Like, I know what's going through your mind.
Yeah, so
you're a guy.
It's cool. Yeah, I liked it.
But I thought they weren't really allowed to interact.
I mean, they have to be able to. There's no way that they cannot interact.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they?
That's true. She started the conversation with like business, like comms teams will be available for you, blah blah blah. But then she like laid down the law with the newcomers.
Oh yeah.
So they're there, which I think will bring a good dynamic. And then they.
Well, can we talk about real quick because we move on? Because in that scene, immediately Lieutenant Burke spits game.
Oh, he does.
At Bivas.
I saw some tweets about it, so I knew it was coming, and like he was like, which he wanted that girl.
Oh yeah, it was like love at first sight.
And I love of course, Tex picks up on it and gives him so much crap the whole time.
Yeah. Love you, Tex, as I would have done.
Yeah, and because I love Burke. I love that character, and he was missing a lot. He was in a very small part in last episode. Yeah. So I like that he was one of the main guys this time. So yes, we have that going throughout the episode. But then they find the ship, and it's just like a automatic message that's playing. Of course, they scramble the teams, and they go over there, and basically, they don't find anything at first.
No, yeah, because I think the thing that triggered it was that it wasn't moving.
It's not moving.
It was just not moving, just no response, but it's there. And they decide to go find out what's going on. It's a group of them.
Yeah, and then they see, like, Green sees this iPad playing, and, like, the coffee is still warm.
Yeah, so they're in the boat. Yeah, so they're in the Solace
hospital boat.
Yeah.
And
I love that scene. Yeah.
It's a good scene because you're like, wait, what's going on? Because everything seems so normal, but they even say there's no signs of life, but there's no signs of death.
Yeah.
Until the team split up and Tex, Burke, and Ravit find, sadly, like, I think it's probably all the doctors lined up and basically executed.
Yeah.
And then they find the other group of survivors, and they basically tell the Navy they're still on the ship.
Yeah.
They were here like 20 minutes ago. So then they kind of have some warfare happen. And I love Slattery back on the
ship
on Nathan James. Like, find me something to hit. Like, I love how they bring everyone together. But I was like, who are these people?
Yeah.
Did you have any idea that it was the...
No. And it really, I don't even know if we're there yet, but it really threw me off when there was like a British accent and then a Spanish.
That's why you can't really tell where they're from.
Or how they come together or anything like that.
Well, and they're thinking they're pirates, but then they see there's that one scene with the gun.
Yeah.
And it's like a very specialized gun that like
an automatic
can like turn. And like even Green and Chandler are like, did you see that? Like, this is not pirates. These are professionals.
Professionals.
But basically, I found it really interesting, and I think we'll see more of why this scene played out. But they go to the I want to call them pirates, but they're mercenaries. So you see the one guy who we saw in the first scene is there, and he's calling the shots.
Yes.
And the other guy that's with him is like, they're on the ship. We got what we came for. Let's go. Your brother, like your brother would have wanted to do that. And he's like, I only know what my brother wants.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know who this brother, I mean, we saw his brother in the opening scene.
Yeah, his brother I think is Sean. We only got one name. And I think it's Sean, yeah.
But like, why is Sean in charge?
Yeah.
And what is his, I was like, what does he want? It piqued my interest.
I actually even, you didn't question him being alive at that point? When he was like, I know what my brother would want or wants.
Oh, like you thought like maybe he, I did. I was like, maybe he died.
Did he die? And then maybe not even from the virus.
No, I didn't think from the virus. Yeah, like if they would have died, they would have died on the boat.
Yeah, so I thought that he died, and then this was just like...
He's doing what his brother wanted.
What his brother wanted to do. What the plan was with his brother.
Yeah. But this other brother, which we didn't get the name of, is a little crazy.
A little crazy.
He gets on the microphone, the system, and is saying, like, come and get us or something. He's like, we're going to kill every one of them. I'm like, you are outnumbered, bud.
Yeah.
I mean, you might be trained, but so are they.
Yeah. But he was not worried.
He was not worried.
Not stressed.
He's a little crazy, which worries me about the future. So they have some back and forth gunfire. What I thought was very sad was the chief.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't know who that actor was.
Captain Gonzalez or Chief Gonzalez?
Chief Gonzalez.
Let me see if I can find it.
So he is... Got it. Who is it?
Ruben Garfias.
Ruben, you spent maybe like 10 minutes on screen, but like I teared up when he died, which means you did a hell of a job.
I agree. I wanted him to survive and like to possibly be a recurring character.
Right, because when Chandler says, he's like, the chief is downloading Chandler on everything that's happened. They're still on the boat. Chandler goes like, it seems like you've had some military service before you became, because I think he was like a civilian worker on this boat. I keep calling it a boat. It's a ship. I'm sorry. On this ship, and he's like, I sure did. Da da da. And he hands him a gun, and I'm like, Chief Gonzalez, like you could just tell he was like a good dude.
Yeah, instantly trusted him, and of course he
dies.
Had to be killed.
He dies, and Wolf gets shot.
Yeah,
of course Wolf is like through and through.
I mean,
I'm fine.
Can we talk about the scene with Wolf and Miller? Wolf. They kicked ass.
He kicked ass.
You're right. Like 75% was Wolf, 25% was like Miller. We'll give Miller a little bit.
How do you know how to do that?
He was just in it to win it. I don't know. It was pretty good. It
was
awesome.
Pretty good. It was amazing.
Yeah.
That scene, I was like, Wolf, I am glad you have joined the team.
Right? It's like, Miller, you would have been dead.
Yeah.
You'd have been out.
Out. So let's go to the other newcomer, Ravit. So their team...
She's also a boss.
She's also a big boss. Their team has to secure the lab. Mm-hmm. They go to the lab, they see 3 people in there, and, like, Burke and Tex, they're like, okay, I got a vantage point. There's 3. Make sure they're headshots. They're, like, having this whole conversation about what they need to do. In the meantime, this girl puts a lab coat on, walks in there like a boss, like, what are you doing? And, like, shoots them in the head.
Yeah, she's like, you want the cure? I have it. Boom,
boom, boom, boom.
And they're over here still trying to figure out how to do it.
Their mouths just drop. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
You just, like, that girl just saved your butt.
Yeah.
And then that team also, those 3 stumble upon a little bomb.
A little bit.
Little bit
of a bomb.
Little bomb.
Connected to a
bigger bomb. So she disarms that one. Yes. The little bomb. Then
boss. She's a
total boss.
I know.
Kara's definitely gonna be jealous of her.
She
dismantled like 2 bombs.
She should be.
And then there's this bigger bomb connected to an oxygen tank that they don't think they can like disarm. Mm-hmm. So everyone's trying to get off the ship. Mm-hmm. That's when the chief dies. That's when Wolf gets shot. And that's when Chandler starts chasing one of the brothers. Mm-hmm. Tex, I'm not experienced in disarming bombs, but Tex does a little trick apparently to like take the thing.
So it seems as though they said metal on metal or
metal
something.
Metal to metal.
And then he had was it a sword?
It was a knife.
Yeah. And then just ran out.
I don't think that you can do that.
You know what? What are you saying? Hollywood is lying to us?
What? That never happens. Ever.
That's how exactly it happens. It takes that long to do it. Like, if there's a bomb, I'm cutting the red cord, because that's what
Ravit
did.
I'm not cutting any cords. I'm running
she cut
for
the
my
red,
life.
So I'm going to assume that's how you do it.
But yeah, he takes it off, and he's, like, running with this, because it's a remote. It's
right.
It's not like a timer. Someone has the remote.
Right. And that someone is being chased by Chandler.
Who... dead ends. Mm-hmm. They have a little confrontation. Mm-hmm. He's like, if you blow me up, if you shoot me, the whole ship goes down. Mm-hmm. Which I was surprised he even let go of the remote.
The remote. Mm-hmm.
Because he still wasn't off the ship. Like, if that bomb went off, that ship would have went down, and you would have went down with it.
Yeah, I thought the same thing, because Chandler's like, you best believe if I go down, you're coming with me. And it's like, wait, you thought you were going to blow up the boat and you were going to survive? I'm confused.
So he lets go of the remote, and by this time, Tex has thrown the bomb off the boat. There's an explosion, but no one's hurt, nothing happens. Mm-hmm. And Chandler tries to shoot the guy.
Because he jumps in the water.
He jumps in the water.
Off the ship, yep.
And we'll get to the whole submarine thing that they're trying to find, like, where these people came from. Because there's no helicopter, there's no boat. So, like, how did they get to the ship?
Yeah.
But in the process of all the gunfire, there is a member of the missionary team that's shot. Mm-hmm. And over their comms, you can hear the brother say, like, don't let them capture you. Because he goes, I'm hit. And he's like, just get off the ship. Get into the water. Don't be captured. We find out he is at the end.
And this is the one that's speaking Spanish.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So that should be interesting to see what happens, what information he gives up. But this guy just jumps into the water and then never comes up. So they had some specialized equipment for sure.
And they say that, like, or maybe they didn't say, but it's not just him. It's like 4 or 5 of them jump off this boat. The ship, jump off of the ship, and none of them are found. And I think they say that 7 of them were not found.
Yeah,
and they just don't know where they went. And I think, did you not hear them? It was 8. At least 8 of them jumped. Did you hear when I think it was Chandler then said, "What is this, like a British, Spanish, or whatever international group of thieves?"
Yeah.
I was like, what?
I don't know. But it's interesting, like, how did these people find each other? How did they have the same goal? If they are from different places, why are they following this one guy that's not even from their country or from their, military service? Because, obviously they've all had military training.
Right.
So that's a big question that I think season 2 is going to have to solve.
Definitely. Because
I don't get it. I don't get this band of thieves.
Neither do I.
But before we get off the ship, I want to go back to Burke steps in front of.
We forgot that. Go on. Yeah.
So let's go back to Burke is still crushing on Ravit.
Oh, yeah.
And he, like, takes a bullet for her.
Straight up. Like, takes a bullet for her. Like, nobody's... Like, it wasn't even a big deal.
Burke, come on.
And then he's like, vest.
Fine. Just a vest. Just cut the vest. It's fine.
Just a vest.
But I thought that was like, oh, now she's going to love you back.
Yeah. I loved how he just he went all out on this episode for love. Like, every scene with him and her, he was, like, either flirting or, like,
he was just staring. He was, like, in awe of her.
So good.
So good.
Yes, yes.
I'm excited to see what happens with that. So they get everyone off the ship. They're back on the Nathan James. Everyone's, just kind of decompressing from what's happened. And basically it's like, what do we do with these people? So they've taken the hospital ship back. They can go back to Norfolk. They have enough crew. But this doctor, I didn't catch his name. Did you?
Milowski.
He wants to stay.
Let me see if I can get the actor. Give me a second.
We'll get it. But he says, he's has a master's in vaccine something or other.
Yeah.
And and if you are spreading the cure, I want to be a part of it. Who is it?
Dr. Milowski is played by Bruce Nozick.
So I think this is going to come into play a lot in this season.
Yeah.
So like it's they have a surgeon doctor. I think his name's we saw him a lot in the premiere episode, who was helping Quincy. But he's not like a scientist, like a vaccine scientist, biology person. That's Dr. Scott. So like bringing him on makes me think something's going to happen to Dr. Scott.
Yes.
Because it's like, I don't know. We'll get in. I have a prediction. I think this was starting a big storyline when he's saying,
100%.
I'm going to stay. I was like, this means something big is going to happen in the future.
Yeah.
I wonder if anyone else stays. No one really else says they're going to stay.
At least they didn't tell us. If anyone else is staying, it must not be like anyone huge to know about.
And the lab has been destroyed.
Yes.
So what they were hoping to find, obviously.
Yeah, which is why everyone's back on the boat. Nathan James.
And I'm thinking they're still going to continue to Florida to see her mentor, but who knows?
So. Yeah. I would assume so.
Yeah. And then, they're still decompressing, and Burke goes up to Ravit and was like, are you okay? And she goes, like, her hair's down, some more casual, and she's like, I like you guys. You're crazy. Yeah. And I was like,
yeah. And when she means you guys, she means you, Burke. You.
Basically.
You take a bullet for me, I'm all yours.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, who wouldn't?
Right? I don't know what she's
Someone takes a bullet for me.
And Burke's not bad to look at.
Sure isn't.
So, Ravit, you need to get on that. You need to get
prediction
on
number one.
that.
That's happening.
Yes, you need to get on that.
So let's go real quick to what we mentioned earlier. The man is in custody. You see Chandler like walk into the sick bay. He's still unconscious, and obviously it's like, what is this guy gonna say when he wakes up? I don't think he's gonna talk.
No, I don't think so either. No, he's
that'd be too easy. Maybe he dies even.
Maybe
from his injuries,
or at least he won't talk in the next episode.
Yeah. Not at all.
Not at all.
And then it gets interesting
a little bit
because Niles comes into the picture.
Yeah.
Patient zero, who's always causing problems.
Yeah.
Wherever he is, he's causing problems. I don't like him. He's in a. There's so many mercenaries that you like can't keep track of them all.
Yeah.
But he's in a boat with the two guys from that island that he kind of just joined their group. And it's the guy who said, like, I know people who have a bigger plan. So this is where it comes to me that, like, they're connected to the brothers.
Yeah.
And he's like, you guys found the ship. Like, you guys really found this. Like, I was talking about the hospital ship.
Yeah.
But you guys actually found the cure ship.
The cure ship, yep.
And the bad guys think that Niles
set them up.
And he's like, no, like, you have to believe me, da-da-da-da. And the guys are like, save your belly aching for the boss.
Yeah.
Sean is the boss, but he's just the boss.
The boss.
I'm like, why do they follow this man?
I don't know. I don't even think I don't even know if he's alive. I don't know if I think
Sean is the brother, or the boss is the brother.
Yeah, no, I think we haven't been introduced to the boss.
Interesting.
I think there's a higher man that we have not been introduced to, because I could be wrong, but I still think there's a possibility that Sean is dead, and that it's only the other brother, and there's like another one. But you could be right, where Sean is the boss. And yeah, that whole scene where they're taking him, and then the submarine starts to come out of the water.
I was like, oh my God.
I was like, okay, this is getting scary.
And I think it was really meant to be scary. And they did a really good job the way they shot that, the music they played, the lighting. Because when that submarine comes out of the water, I'm like, oh my God, stuff's about to get real.
Yeah, it was great scene. Great shot.
So this brings into play there is a submarine.
Yeah.
So the whole time, like we mentioned, they don't know where these guys came from. And then they go underwater and disappear. Obviously, there's a sub.
Oh, yeah.
And now, I mean, I'm not a Navy expert, but now they probably have to be on the lookout, under sonar 24/7.
100%.
Because that sub can sneak up on you. Now you've crossed paths.
Right.
They can track you, you can track them. So now it's like a constant threat.
Yeah.
Because it's not something you just see on the horizon and you're like, oh, there he is.
Yeah.
That's what scares me.
Yeah. And I love that. I wasn't expecting a submarine.
No.
And
it's like, where'd this thing even come from?
Right. Like, what? And are there more? Because that just adds a whole nother threat, like what you just said. Now you guys, they didn't know they didn't know the submarine was anywhere near. They had no interaction, no idea. So are there more? Do they have more?
Do they have like a network of subs?
Like,
I wouldn't put it past the boss.
Yeah, especially if we don't think these guys, clearly these guys are not pirates. These guys are trained. So this has to be some sort of military something from somewhere.
And it's like, what is their goal? Is it just to like...
Do you think it's to stop the cure from...
I think it could be one of two things. Like, one, they just want to have the cure and sell it to the highest bidder. It's about money.
Okay.
So it's the money. You know, what's the motivation? One, money. Other motivation is to create this superior race.
Yes.
That, like, they were all immune. So let everyone else die. The cure shouldn't be distributed whatsoever. Let's destroy the cure. And just everyone who is going to live are the people that should live because they're superior race, and then we'll rebuild from there.
Yeah.
So it's like Nazis theory or money theory.
Yeah. I think it's a superior race thing.
Yeah?
Yeah. I don't think it's money. I feel like it's more than that.
I feel like in a world that they live in right now, money is irrelevant.
Yeah.
Because there's so much chaos. Money's not really going to buy you anything. Yeah. You could just break into something, take whatever you want. Like, the cure is the currency right now.
Yeah, you could also say, instead of money, just power.
Power.
Just like, I have the cure, and I will give you doses based on what I want.
What you can give me.
Exactly. Like a power thing. Yeah, it could be a power versus money, but I think it's just I
had doubts on where season 2 was going. I'm like, how can they sustain this? And I'm like, my mind is blown at all the possibilities with all these new characters, with this boss, with this sub. I was wondering how they were going to stay at sea, but now they're fighting this enemy at sea, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Because the ship,
twist.
It's a great twist. Okay, should we get into predictions?
Yes, let's do it.
Predictions.
And now, your AFTERBUZZ TV predictions.
You got something for me?
All right, kind of to go, well, let's talk about the new doctor, Dr. Milowski.
Yeah.
You said that maybe something's going to happen to Dr. Scott. That's actually a really good prediction, but that's not what I thought. I just think that this cure is going to quickly not work. Like, I think that it's going to...
The virus is going to mutate?
And he's going to help in figuring that out. I just think that eventually this cure is like not going to be the cure.
My thought was, when they finally get to Dr. Hunter, something's wrong with him, and she wants to stay and like help him because he's either sick or something's wrong with Dr. Hunter, because we've never met him, but he's so important to her. So my thought was, when they finally find him, she's gonna want to leave, and thank God they have this other doctor to continue making doses, but then something's going to happen to him and she's going to need to come back. It's something's crazy. Like, I just think there's going to be a shuffling of doctors and problems. Okay. I just think they added him in for a reason.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
So I don't know if she gets kidnapped. Or if he gets kidnapped, because now she'll teach him how to make the cure. He gets kidnapped. He's forced to do it. I don't know. But there's a reason he's been introduced and wanted to stay.
Yeah. I also, my next, not with this, but my next prediction is that since there's going to be so much problems at sea, more reason to go to land.
Okay.
So I think we are going to encounter other people. And maybe this is how we'll bring back.
Like who?
Just people, like, I think we're going to go to Florida. Yeah. And we might not even get back at sea for a while.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I want to, what about, like you were saying people, I want to know, that like, the first thing that came to mind when you said that was Slattery's family.
Well, yeah, Slattery's family, and I thought of Chandler's family. How just, like, now, having so many issues at sea, wouldn't that just make you go more towards land?
I think they'll keep doing some loops back.
Okay.
And then back to sea, and then, you know, hit wherever land. But yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, like, it just seems as though this is a perfect opportunity to expand the story to land.
I wonder, like, who's in charge in these places? Like, who did they leave in charge in Baltimore?
There's nobody
Who's in charge in Norfolk? Like, and every other major city in the United States.
It's true. It's true.
I don't know.
Yeah.
This secure network isn't really happening.
No.
That's another prediction. They flew these cures to these secure network labs. We never have an update on that. If the lab in Norfolk was torn apart and not in existence, what makes you think those other ones
are still
in existence? And what if those people that were delivering the cure were overtaken by the rebels?
By those same people, just finding
whoever. We never got an update on that. Like, that's why Dr. Scott's so optimistic in the beginning with that video diary, and it's like, yeah, but you don't really know.
You don't.
I mean, you're doing all you can, but that's it. All right. You know, my predictions always have to do with relationships.
Yeah, those are good.
So we have to continue the Burke Ravit.
Yes.
Love gazingness.
That will continue. I don't think this will happen next week or probably even the following week. But I say that Foster loses the baby.
You said that.
And she'll lose the baby.
You think so?
She won't, yeah. She will lose the baby. Something was going to happen, and even though right now, I know it seems weird because she got that position now where she's doing, like, the comm stuff, and she probably won't be in a lot of threat. But she can't have the baby. She can't.
We'll see. I also, we just got to run down the relationships in this prediction. Tex and Dr. Scott, there was, like, she bandaged him up. And he was, like, not having any, like, cute flirtation between. He was just like, thanks, and walked away. And I'm like, Tex, what's up?
Tex, what's up?
So is that just going to fizzle? And I think that's why she's even going to leave, because it's like, he doesn't want me here. I'm going to stay with Dr. Hunter.
That's true. At the same time, though, if she leaves, now this is just me, like, thinking of, like, the cast and,
Yeah.
If she leaves, Tex could stay with her because now you have Wolf. That's another thing.
Yeah.
That you could have.
There's going to be a serious shakeup.
Like land, Dr. Scott on land with Tex and a couple of people, and then.
Because maybe there is a lab in where Dr. Hunter is, and she has to stay because that's where she can make the most doses. Yeah. And obviously they can't just stay still. They're fighting the boss.
Submarine and pirates and thieves and just
lots of stuff.
A lot of people.
So, I think my big prediction, there's going to be a huge shakeup.
Oh, it has to be. Yeah.
And I think it's either coming next episode or the following because something major is going to happen. Yeah. And then finally, Alicia, because she's been a huge part of season 1 in the premiere episode. We see her a little bit this episode just getting back to business. And I think she's still not recovered.
Nah.
And I think we'll see some more of that. Because right now she's
post-traumatic.
Like post-traumatic stress. Like
trauma.
Something happens that they still don't trust. You know, she thinks that the crew still doesn't trust her.
Yep.
And maybe makes a stupid decision for them to prove to them, even though she has nothing to prove.
Yeah.
So I think she's not, like, that whole storyline, I don't think is over.
It's over. I hope not. I hope not.
I like her. She's a good character.
I like that storyline. Like, I like that it was led into this beginning of season 2, and I hope it still is ending. Like, it's not over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right. Anything else for me?
I think that's it.
Yeah? All right. Where can they find you on the social media?
On social media, you guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Monse Bolanos, Monsebolanos.
And you guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Kate Aquillano. Thanks, guys, for watching. Next week, we're back on our usual night, which is Sunday. So we'll see you then. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.